West, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Watch 85. Get that quarterback.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Slam. Watch the shit. Hey, watch. Let's go double count right here. Double count. Mike, 55.
Wilson.
Tighten up.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Alert. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Mike's 5'4". Mike's 5'4". Oh, get him.
From the 44, Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. There he goes right side. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, If you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Watch twitch. Bang out, fan. Under crunch. 19. 41.
Here's Wilson.
Here we go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan with a sack.
Come on, line.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Alert, flare. Take four. Shift. Punch left.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
On 2nd down now, it's Bell, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They don't want it, fellas. Want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it. 45's the mic.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Mike, 45.
I'm trying to collect.
Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You ready? Punch left, punch left.
Check, 50.
Gun.
Check, 55 to Mike.
Down to lose. Left pass.
Check safety.
Good tight.
Here's Wilson. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Kill.
Hey, guys, listen.
Kill. Turn up. Check 99.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
All day, baby, all day.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
On the ground with a tight end. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
What is that? 118.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a alert. Hey, check
2nd and 5 now. Watson, and an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Bell. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And to give this time to the tailback. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. Yeah.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator, perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Hey, 4-1's Mike. 4-1's Mike. Let's go, defense. Hey. This is our time. 41 Mike.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
41.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Zebra. One left.
41's the Mike. 41's the Mike. Check 41. You remember me? You remember?
12.
Go, baby. Mike 41.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it no matter the sport. They say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in him.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And the catch made by Hopkins. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Now it's Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. The Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Right here, 41 Mike. They're not ready for this.
Hey, alert.
For this, they still playing.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Watch out.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Coming.
14, Friday.
Check the backer. Check. Lucky.
Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. The final shot before the break, Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking? And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here.
Let's make these babies crawl the way back.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that. Friday. He's coming. We got double up.
Now Wilson.
Under 10.
Forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his second touchdown on the season. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Being chased out left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down near the 5.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
I got it. Check, 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 check. Check, check 43. Shit.
And to give this time to the tailback. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Watson rolling to his right. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away, and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
To throw is Watson. Goes underneath for Bell. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Play it, play it, play it, play it, play it, play it.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch 54. I smell fear in that offense. I smell.
Here we go on 4th. Watson escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
All go special. All go special. Come on, switch it. Check. Alert. Quick the edge. Come. Watch twist.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Here we go. Check 3.
36.
Alert. Mike 55.
Let's go, D.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55.
Silver.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
Mike 55. Hey.
Spot that.
Watch it. Safety.
To throw is Wilson.
Check out route.
He wants it all for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. 43 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Frank Clark able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot.
And now here is another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Timmy Jernigan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Watch the curve. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Shift. Tighten up.
Now Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
55 to Mike. Check, 55 to Mike. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Out. Big edge. Hey, check.
Now it's Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DJ Reader. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an out.
Throwing again is Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
That's going to be a long day.
Mike, 41. Mike.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the... And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Partner, I think the thing I'm going to take away from this game is that ending. Still hard to believe they score on the final play, and then for some salt on the wound, they go for 2 just to widen the margin.
Not to mention, they already had the lead when they scored on the final play. So I don't know if everyone on the team is a fantasy football player, and they're like, hey, get more points for our guys. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe a coach is looking ahead and saying, you know something, the more points we have might be the tiebreaker. But, boy, what a way to finish it.
So for the Seahawks, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Houston, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you.
Honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, put the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be